talking about part 2 of the stage presentation timeline here. We're going to be talking about what comes after the mandatories and quarter turns segment. So taking a look here, I'll superimpose the graph so you guys can take a look. We have FP. FP stands for free posing. Alright, free posing is incredibly vital. Alright, now this is a concept that it makes a lot of sense when you think about it, but not enough people actually do it. Alright, so we talked previously about mandatories and quarter turns being incredibly important, and yes, they are. But if you get stuck in the rut of just hitting these poses, just the front double bicep, just the back double bicep, just the side chest, you're gonna really just honestly be stuck in the rut. And so what we do to kind of counterbalance that and give a little bit more freedom with our posing is we do free posing. All right, so taking a look here, you know, we do free posing for the first 3 weeks. You can go 3, 4, 5 weeks with free posing. And how it's going to look is, again, it's going to be very similar to the mandatory quarter turn practice, where you do it 2 to 3 times a week. You set a block of time out of your day separate from other things that you're doing, and you focus just on the free posing. All right. So what you do, you put some music on that you really like. All right, whether it's rap, you know, R&B, whatever it is you might be into, some metal, and you just want to move to it. You want to pose to it, and this is actually a lot more difficult than you think. Especially if you're, you know, in the gym, maybe in the Group X room, but even if you're home all by yourself, you still have to get past the initial discomfort of just moving, and the fact that it might look a little bit goofy, it might look a little bit silly at first, and that's okay. You're allowed to, you know, open up your arms, look in the mirror, see how it looks from an angle here, maybe an angle over here. That's how you get into poses that end up looking good. You don't just fall into it magically when you're on stage and everyone's like, wow, this man can pose. All right, you take a look at the people who did good in posing, you know, back in the 70s, you know, you look at Frank Zane, Ed Corney, these guys practiced it. It was an art. It was not something that just happened naturally because they had good physiques. And I would actually argue that a lot of the times, the bodybuilders who are very well aware of their own flaws with their own body do their best to master their posing to eliminate the appearance of these weaker muscle groups. So again, Frank Zane happened to be one of the best posers that people are familiar with, and you know, he was what, 170, 180 on stage as Mr. Olympia. And those numbers might be off, but I'm well aware that he was very light. So again, just mastering that art, free posing. Back to the free posing, we set time aside to really just move, and you really have to redefine what you think a pose is. All right, so a pose doesn't necessarily mean I have to be fully contracted in this position for a front double bicep to look good. If it happens that my arms are open a little bit more and I have a little less tension in a certain muscle group, that's okay too. All right, so we need to experiment with these things and really push the boundaries of what we're comfortable with. All right, so the reason it gets taken out so soon, only after 3 or 4 weeks, is that we have other practices down the line that are going to take the place of that free posing. More specifically, when you start choosing your song choice, and we'll get into that in upcoming videos. But again, if you take a look, the mandatories and quarter turn practice, they're constant throughout the entire prep. All right, when you look at the free posing, 3 or 4 weeks into it, you know, and you do less of it, so it really makes you stress how important it is to get it in. You don't want to slack for the first 2 weeks, realize there's 2 more weeks left you're supposed to do free posing until you really start branching off into a different area and realize, well crap, I didn't even do the free posing and now I'm moving forward. We need to stick with this structure. All right, so again, ask questions if you have them. This is just part 2 of the stage presentation timeline. I hope you guys are enjoying it, and I hope it's helping anybody, because again, this is just some good information I'm trying to pass down to really apply more structure to what we do in bodybuilding. So thanks again guys for all the support, and I appreciate it. I'll talk to you soon.